Welcome to Kitchens, guys.
We are going to be doing like kind of a bit of a variety. I wanted to show you certain things in kitchens because everybody's kitchen is different, right? Just like everybody's bathroom can be different. So you're going to see a variety of things here, not necessarily all in the same order. There are different methods to cleaning a kitchen
Some people like to start from one end of the kitchen.
and get everything from the upper cabinet facings to the counters to the lower cabinet facings all in one shot, and they just work their way around the kitchen like that.
Other people
Like to get all of the upper cabinet facings, then they get all of the counters, then they get all of the lowers.
So that's a couple of different methods.
Some people like to start with an island if there's an island. Some people like to start with the wall facing cabinets if there's wall cabinets plus an island.
It just really depends on how the kitchen is set up, and it depends on how your trainer trains you.
I want you to make sure
That whoever is training you,
you follow their instructions exactly.
don't try and make up your own way to do this. Just follow exactly what they're saying. They've been doing this a lot longer than you, and they've got a really good, efficient process for it now. If they're a trainer, make sure you listen to instruction very well. Just do exactly what they're telling you to do. I'm fine with multiple methods as long as they are just as efficient as one another and they do as good of a job as one another. You'll also see different types of cabinet facings, dark ones and white ones, a couple of different kinds of appliances that we're going to go over, and we'll probably break those up a little bit and show you them in different sections. So hopefully this covers everything we do in kitchens for you. This is really meant to be like one tool for learning out of 3 that we have. Okay, so we've got videos that you're going to learn from, but you're also going to learn from doing things hands-on, and you're also going to learn from watching your lead and listening to your lead explain to you. So
Enjoy the video.
Okay, so you're always going to want a yellow. You're going to need yellow for the kitchen with your soapy water. And then depending on what kind of appliances you're dealing with, in this case I said there was black ones, so we are going to be using a white and glass cleaner. You would use glass cleaner on white appliances or black appliances.
correction, you can use glass cleaner on black appliances, white appliances, and the black stainless appliances, which we're not showing here. You only see black, and then you see stainless towards the end of the video. So just keep in mind, those are things that your trainer will go over you with at each house that you're at. So right here, she's gonna start by getting hot water. You wanna make sure it's as hot as you can stand, you guys. Like, the hotter the better, hot water cleans better. It's, common sense. Anyways, and then you put it like a dollop of soap in there. I would say like a good 1/1000, right? And then you just probably want to fill the sink about a quarter of the way, and you're ready to go.
Also, if you don't see a drain plug of the clients, we always have one in each caddy. And please do not steal the clients, and remember to grab ours because they have our company name on them. Here's what I'm talking about. You see this? Cabinet cleaning. So we do this to all of ours, okay, that go in our caddies. So make sure that when you guys are done with the kitchens, you put these back in the caddies. I typically see them like sitting underneath the cups. But a client's will not have any of this jazz on it. If it's completely plain, do not take, okay? Very simple. I don't know why, but it just seems to be like an issue here and there with new trainees where we end up accidentally stealing the client's sink drain plugs, and I don't know. But I mean, it's probably annoying to them because they probably use it often. So let's just try and avoid that if we can.
So now typically for me, so that I don't forget to do this, I do this part first. I wash off the whole kitchen table. I wash off all the chairs, and this is also the part where I would go wash any like end tables, coffee tables, all that jazz, that's in the living room. Because, while you're dusting or whoever's dusting, they'll notice if there's like, spills or cup rings or anything on the tables in the living room, and we're responsible to clean that as well. So this would be definitely the part where you would do that. And like I said, I like to knock out both of these things. You want to make sure you're being very detailed. So like you see, she's going and getting all parts of this chair, including the legs, all the way down, because, little kids, they spill their cups and milk splatters or juice splatters, but the legs of the table as well, and every little part that she's going to right now We need to make sure we're as detailed as possible. People have lots of meals at their dinner table, and it just tends to be a place that gets very dirty.
Very important. I'm going to show this numerous times. Please make sure you're rinsing out your rag often. Rinse it out and wring it out really well. It should not be dripping when you go to wipe down anything. You shouldn't be leaving water spots all over stuff. When a microfiber is wrung out really well, it allows things to dry perfectly when you do air dry. So you need to rinse your rag as many times as you possibly need to during whatever you're cleaning, depending on how dirty it is. Just make sure that you're not washing things with a dirty rag because it will not look clean when you are done.
And along with your kitchen table and chairs, a lot of places are going to have these island bar seating chairs. Now, this was fabric that she was wiping off, but I still want you to wipe this stuff off too, you guys, because there could be crumbs sitting on there. There could be little stains that are just really surfacey that you could get off really quickly. And we're only using like a really gentle soap like Dawn, so it's not like we're going to damage anything. But you just want to make sure you do those all the way from top to bottoms of the legs as well. You get all the bar stools done and you go rinse your rag again, girl. And you see how soapy this water is. Okay, it's soapy, it's nice, it's wonderful. And you want a clean rag when you start a fresh section of the kitchen.
Side note, I see that she's not wearing gloves when she's cleaning this kitchen. Generally, I would advise you to wear gloves when you're cleaning anything in a house. The only time that I usually don't wear gloves is when I'm dusting or vacuuming because you're really not getting your hands wet and dry and soapy or a ton of germs on them. So just keep that in mind. Like I would in general, as a general rule, please wear gloves because it's going to save your hands and it's just the safer option for us here. Okay, and then once you do the kitchen tables and the end tables and like the bar stool area, then she's going to start on the actual kitchen area. And here, it looks like she's picking counters first. So she's going to do all the counters, and then I'm assuming she's going to do all the cabinet facings. You can do that as well. If that's how your trainer trains you, then do it the way that they're showing you. But see how she's pulling everything forward? And she's wiping all that stuff off. She's wiping the backsplash off, even the walls if she sees stuff. This particular house, I know they do a lot of cooking, so it's generally a pretty deep clean on the kitchen every single time. You can see that she's taking her time. She's being very thorough. And she's wiping down every item that's on the kitchen counter too. And then she's going to wipe behind everything and then put everything back in a nice tidy manner. So now she's going to wipe underneath and around and put all things back, you know, generally where people had them. This client in particular really likes things put back exactly where they had them before, so her method's really good. Just pull it out in front of her and then push it right back. And then make sure that you're still wiping off the front of that counter because you could have crumbs going anywhere, you know, and you could leave some crumbs on the countertop from sliding back and forth and not doing that extra wipe, and then the client's going to complain and say we didn't even clean that particular part of the countertop.
This is where a field test at the end when you're doing your walkthrough with your bare hand is going to come in handy, and I'll talk about that at the end.
Also, just a tip, because sometimes when you're cleaning the kitchen, right, depending on if you're working with a team of 2 or a team of 3, people could kind of be in different spots in the house cleaning on that same level that you're cleaning the kitchen. So sometimes the floor will have been floor heroed already where you are in the kitchen. If that's the case, please do not sweep all the crumbs from the counter onto the floor. You're just making more work for whoever's washing the floor, and, you know, it's rude to do to your fellow employee who just got done floor heroing thoroughly to get that floor clean. So be aware of that. However, if the floor has not been floor heroed yet, I just sweep that shit onto the floor because I'm going to vacuum it up anyways. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware of where you guys are at in the house. Be respectful and do things that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then here she goes with the other side of the counter. So these are both like the back parts of the counter, and then she's going to do the island last. But you can see right here, she's literally wiping the walls and moving these things and wiping them off as well and wiping the ledge of the backsplash off. She is being very thorough. This is our job. This is exactly what we are being paid to do. A client is going to want to pay us for a professional job, not something that they could do in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then again with the make sure you're pulling stuff forward and you're cleaning behind it, and you're also cleaning the stuff on the counter. So all these small appliances, the cute little dishes and decor and knickknacks, anything they've got on the counters, that is fair game for us, and we are expected to clean that.
Attention to detail. It's a very important part of our job. It comes above speed.
Yes, you do need to work on speed and detail together, but your detail is second to none. A client is going to notice your detail or lack thereof before they notice your speed or lack thereof, okay? So just always remember that. You see how thorough she is being, and it's just extremely important. These people are going to be very happy because they got a really thorough clean. They feel like it was money well spent. And anything you forget to clean or just don't clean well enough and you leave anything behind, girl, trust me, they're going to be like, they didn't even touch that, when we really did, right? But maybe we just didn't do it as good as we should have.
Again, with the rinsing, dude, I cannot stress this enough. Like, I should have put this clip in here twice as much as I did, because you need to be rinsing your rag. You cannot be wiping counters and all that stuff off with a dirty rag, okay?
And we're gonna go to countertop, or
Speech issues. I'm having speech issues. Anyways, the cabinet facings, so you can do these in a couple of different ways too. So I'm showing them here. After I get those two back counters all wiped down, then I'm going to go through and do all of the cabinet facings is how I'm showing her doing this, okay? However, you can take one section of the kitchen at a time and just do it fully 100%. So I could have had her show her wipe down the counter, and then I could have showed her immediately after that wiping down the cabinet facings for that section, and then moved on to the next section of the kitchen and done countertops and then the upper and lower cabinet facings. So I'm just going to say, however your lead shows you how to do a kitchen, I want you to do the kitchen exactly how your lead shows you. Exactly, okay? There's 4 to 5 leads at any given time. Some of them are going to do things a little bit differently, and that doesn't mean that it's wrong by any means. As long as there's, you know, an efficiency and a thoroughness, that is really all that matters to me. And for some reason, I either lost the other cabinet facing footage for this kitchen, or maybe when they were recording, they recorded a clip that was too long and it didn't come through. I don't really know what happened, girl. But either way, Leah went through and she wiped off all the cabinet facings on the uppers and the lowers for those countertop areas that she just did, and now she's going straight into the island. So onto the island. So she's going to start out with the countertops, and then she's going to do the cabinet facings. And honestly, ideally, I guess it would be better if you did like the upper cabinet facings if they have them first, then the counters, then the lowers, because think about if you're going to be like washing the uppers and maybe like some food or a little bit of like a water drip or something gets dripped down onto the counter space, and then you've already cleaned the counters, you should catch that in your walkthrough. However, I mean, our general rule is top to bottom, but that's neither here nor there right now because we on the island. So she's going to wipe off all the counters. She's going to get the little backsplash piece too as well that's on this island. And look at her move all that stuff. Great job, Leah. And she's going to wipe all the counters down, the stuff that's on the counters, and then go into the lowers. And see how if she comes across this tough little spot here, she's scrubbing really hard. You want to scrub until the counter feels smooth. Obviously, we don't want to leave any crumbs or anything behind because the clients are going to be looking for that.
Then on to the cabinet facing. So make sure you rinse your rag again. I should have showed that clip again, but rinse your rag often. She's going to go through and she's just going to wipe all these down thoroughly. They collect a lot of things, water spots and food, and I mean, you guys know how yours get at home, so don't be afraid to use a toothbrush on those bottom ridges either, or like maybe a little grout brush or something, you know, some grout brush action. Toothbrush. I usually take a toothbrush, put a like little dollop of Dawn on it, and then take the toothbrush straight to that panel part if there's a lot of shit stuck in it. It's really only going to be for like move out cleans, first time cleans, or just some houses that just are friggin' nasty and can't seem to get clean ever or stay clean. And then I want to show you this here. This is very important. You always want to open up that dishwasher and you always want to wipe that inner lip of the dishwasher. She's going to wipe the black part, and then she's also going to be wiping that white part. So food, you know, when you're taking the nasty dishes and moving into the dishwasher, so much food gets there. And I just notice it gets neglected quite a bit from clients and stuff. So just make sure that we're never missing that inside lip of the dishwasher. And then here she goes with the glass cleaner. If the outside facing of this dishwasher was super nasty, like needed to be like scrubbed first, girl, go ahead and take the yellow to that thing first, okay? And then take your glass cleaner and your white. But if there's just like some water spotting and whatnot, and you can get it fully cleaned with, you know, just the glass cleaner and the white, go for that too, girl. Go for that too. So because I didn't get all those clips of like the cabinet facings getting washed, again, I don't even know what happened to those. Anyways, it didn't show like going all the way around that island. So just because there's not like a drawer to pull out, it doesn't mean you don't get stuff stuck on the cabinet facings, you know, still. So make sure that you go all the way around the island so that you're cleaning, washing all of the woodwork all the way around, you know, as well as any other woodwork, because I didn't get a chance, you know, to show you guys like the lowers of the other parts of the kitchen and stuff like that. So I don't know what happened. They probably did it. She probably sent it to me and my phone ate it. I don't really know, but I don't have it. And then when you're done with the counters and the cabinet facings, then you're going to move on to appliances. Definitely don't do the appliances before you do countertops or cabinet facings, because the appliances tend to be really greasy, right? So they're kind of like the dirty of the dirty. So you want to kind of save those for last. Anyways, she is going to wash the whole outside, then she's going to go all the way in. You're going to get that door of the microwave, and you're going to scrub thoroughly inside. If you need a little bit of extra soap, please get that. Sometimes there's some like really stuck on food. You can use your blue scrubby for inside of here too. So grab a cup or a bowl if your clients are comfortable with that, and fill it a little ways with water, and probably about halfway, and then microwave it for about 2 minutes. And that, all the moisture from that inside the microwave will get everything all nice and loosened up, and then you can just wipe it out completely, and it'll help save a lot of elbow grease. You can, what else? We have sprayed floor cleaner, because technically our floor cleaner is a multi-purpose cleaner. You can use it on many surfaces. So technically you could spray that all over the walls of the microwave, shut the microwave door, and then maybe work on the fridge instead first, and then come back to the microwave, and things should wipe out of there super clean. There's a lot of different methods you can use to get a microwave clean if it's super nasty. This one that you're seeing, they usually use it pretty heavy, so it's probably needs a really good scrubbing. But it looks like she's able to get it all out just with that yellow. So that's great. If you can't, please use the blue scrubby or any of the other methods that I showed you. Your lead should also know all of these little tricks. And then just observe all like the little parts, like she's wiping off all of that, like the little ring, you know, that spins the plate. She's wiping that off, and then you're going to see her go and wipe off like the inside lip where, you know, the door closes around the microwave. She's getting all of that. I really want you guys to be as thorough as possible. Any food, anything that you see, any surface of the appliance, we should be touching that. And then on to the stovetop. And a tip before we start the stovetop, always do the microwave first, because what are you knocking down from the inside of the microwave? Crumbs. So you don't want to do the stovetop and then do the microwave. It's just like, you know, wiping before you shit. You know what I'm saying? With the glass cooktops, we have these little handy blades in our stovetop kits. And this is exactly what it's for. So she must be seeing some buildup or something, like, you know, when you're boiling water and it boils over or something, and it creates that film on the top of the glass cooktop that, you know, the blue scrubby or the yellow can't get off. You're going to get the surface wet, and then you're going to take this little blade and you're just going to do little movements just like she's doing there. As long as the surface is wet, you will not scratch the cooktop. Please make sure the surface is wet. She could even probably have it more wet and more soapy here. It wouldn't hurt anything. Just trying to remove as much as possible. Some of these are going to come super clean, some are not. It's just like this one, for instance, with this client, it's damaged. It's pretty damaged because they don't keep up on cleaning it themselves. And since we only clean it like every 3 weeks, that's time for a lot of boiled shit to get stuck on there and like damage the surface, so that we can only get it so clean. So, but we do have a specific cooktop cleaner in these little containers, and we have those with the blade that you're seeing here. So you need to ask your lead to make sure that you are shown how to do this, because I don't think we do it at every house necessarily, and some stovetops are the great. So I think that's why we're probably going to end up filming, you know, all the different types of stovetops and things and inserting them here. But for now, this is the glass cooktop method to remove buildup, and you can see she's at pretty much like a 45-degree angle, with that blade against the stovetop, and that's how you want it to be. You don't want it to be any more than that, because you could risk scratching it. So just be careful whenever you're using it, and then do your feel test that she was doing with her fingers just to feel if she had gotten all of it removed. And, you know, go over it a couple of times. Whatever you can get, you can get. If you've gone over it a couple times, you're still feeling stuff, girl, let her buck, because we don't have all day, and it's not our job to remove every single little ounce of buildup. We're just there to do what we can in the time allotted.
And then she's just going to continue like normal with her yellow, her soapy yellow, washing, you know, the whole appliance down. So she did take the stuff off the little edge there. She's wiping all that stuff down too, because that stuff's going to get all greasy. She's going to wipe down all the knobs and all that stuff. Sometimes we even do take the knobs off, depending, you know, I guess on the clean. Once in a while, if it hasn't been done in a while, we could totally take them off. Sometimes I just take them off and I throw them in the soapy water and I let them soak, and then I clean them with a toothbrush, dry them, pop them back on. And then that also gives me the opportunity to scrub like underneath where the knobs usually sit, because there's only so far you can get that rag behind the knob. So just make a note for that. Sometimes we will do that, not very often unless it's a client request, but it's definitely an option that we can definitely do just to go like a little bit further. But here she's even opening the oven, she's getting that inner lip, she's going to go all the way down, and she's going to do the drawer as well. Last appliance, and then we'll be able to glass clean them all. So she is going to open up the fridge as you are. You're going to get that inside panel that she's getting, like the inside lip, because it just gets so full of like fingerprints and food and things. You're going to do that on both sides, and then she's going to thoroughly wipe down the entire fridge. You will see that there's some stuff on the fridge, like pictures and magnets and things. Some fridges are so full of shit, you guys. We're not going to move all that shit. If there's a couple of things to remove, cool, and that's what she's doing here. But if this whole top of the fridge was full of magnets and pictures and shit, you're just going to go right up to it and wipe right as close as you can get to the stuff, and then you're just going to leave it alone, because it's really not our problem to be removing all of that stuff. If they really wanted their fridge clean like that every time, they can remove that stuff, which they rarely ever do, and I don't know, clients don't ever have an issue with it either. They understand.
You could take a toothbrush to them if there's like some nooks and crannies that you can't get with the yellow, but just do your best.
Alright, so now that the washing of the appliance is done, now she's going to shine them. So she's just going to use her glass cleaner and white, because that's what we do on black and white appliances. If this were stainless steel appliances, which we will insert in this video somewhere, you would use the clean and polish, and there's just a different method that we use for it. For any appliances that are black or white, or the like slate gray color, or the black stainless, you can use glass cleaner for all of them, and then we just use it to really remove like the water spotting, whatever was left over that doesn't look polished from when we were washing it with the yellow.
Lots of people have towels hanging on like their stovetop handle, so she's just showing you here like how we're going to refold that. We're not going to do a triangle fold because they had it hanging on that bar on their stove, so we're going to just put it exactly like, you know, they had it on there. It was pretty messy on there, but even if it was perfect, we're still going to take that off so that we can clean the stovetop, and then we'll end up refolding it when we put it back on.
And here's some more cabinet facings, just so you guys can get a feel for the different methods and the different styles. So these are white. Obviously, she has to be a lot more thorough when you're cleaning white ones, because anything will show. And she's going to clean the handles, but she's doing like top section, bottom section, and she's doing all the cabinet facings as she goes. So instead of just doing the counters and then coming back to the cabinet facings, she's doing all of the cabinet facings at once. Like the only clip. She went to do the rest of that cabinet facing wall, wherever there were cabinets there, but we're not going to show it because you already know how to do it. It's just, she's showing you the order in which she did things. So I'm assuming that she wiped the counters off as she went too. And then we're going to go straight into the stainless steel appliances that she's going to be doing.
So not every client has one of these like plastic things that's in the microwave, but a lot of people use them, and they like set it over their food while they're microwaving so that food doesn't spray all over the microwave. It's a very nice courtesy that they do for us. Anywho, we should wipe those out too. So she's showing you washing those.
After she cleaned out the rest of the microwave, now she's ready to start shining appliances. So you're going to take your stainless steel, clean and polish, and about that much to start with, okay? If you need to use more, use more. You want to make sure that the appliance is completely coated, because if you don't get a smooth coat on everywhere where there is stainless, you'll see that it looks streaky and spotty. There's such a small amount of stainless on this microwave right here that, you know, she really doesn't need to spray the whole thing. Although, I have been doing it where you can just spray the stainless straight on like the microwave, even the glass part, and it will buff out on the glass as well. So you don't necessarily have to use glass cleaner on those little glass parts unless you're noticing it gives you a hell of a time. But for me, I feel like it buffs out and it's not streaky. So do whatever is not streaky. But if you want to use glass cleaner on those little parts that are glass because you think that it makes it look better or it makes it easier for you or it just produces a better result, go for it, girl. So that's what she's doing right here, right now. And then onto the fridge. So here she just sprays it directly onto the appliance. And she's going to make sure that she coats it everywhere really, really thoroughly. Again, because if you don't get the product thoroughly on there everywhere, you're going to see spots and you're going to see streaking. So just make sure you are using enough product. And you can see how she's just buffing it in too. You can go buff it all in and get it really nice and coated. And then to finish it off, I usually rub with the grain of the stainless because that helps cut down on the streaking. So she's going to do some buffing. She's going to go with the grain of the stainless. She's basically going to do whatever she can to work the product in so that it doesn't look streaky. You might have to try both methods on one appliance because I swear all stainless and all different brands is different and a different level of finicky. Just make sure that you don't forget like the outside edges. So what she's doing right now, it's easy to forget those, but you're going to want to like pull the fridge open and do the inside lips and the outside and all that. Everywhere where you washed, you're going to want to do that.
And then same thing with the dishwasher. She's going to spray enough product so that she can thoroughly coat everything. And she's just going to work it back and forth and then buff it out. Don't neglect the handle. Just make sure everything is really nice and coated and streak free. And you're going to probably want to check from like multiple different angles once you stand up and you're done with the appliance, because it's kind of like cleaning glass. You might not see how streaky it is from one angle, and then you go look at it from a 45 standing to the right or left of it, and then you'll see how streaky it is.
The only thing I'm noticing that I don't have for this is the oven. You know, doing the oven facing for the stainless steel, but she probably just did it. And then either it got lost being sent to me, I didn't save it properly, or she forgot. I don't really know. But she did it. That's what you do with all the appliances. So we don't do sinks scrubbing until we are completely done, like the floors have been cleaned. Sink scrubbing is the last thing that you'll be doing while the lead is doing a walkthrough and checking the work of the whole house. But I wanted to show it here since it's something that's in the kitchen. If you do need to use a toothbrush, please just go for it. I think right here, Leah is doing this and she's using Comet, so you can use Comet on sinks.
Or you can use Barkeeper's Friend like you see Bella doing right here. But when you do the Barkeeper's Friend, you see how it's cream? That's fine to pour on the scrubby side of the scrubby. But if you have Barkeeper's Friend that is in the spray bottle form, make sure that you put the nozzle and you spray it directly into the sponge. Do not spray that stuff into the air. If you breathe that stuff in, girl, it is going to kill your lungs. It hurts. It makes me cough. There's a certain kind of acid in it that is the cleaning agent inside of Barkeeper's Friend. So it is harsh. So please put the nozzle straight into the sponge if you're going to use the spray bottle kind of Barkeepers. And then make sure you're doing just like she's doing. You saw how thoroughly she's scrubbing the sink, and she also scrubbed out the drain plug. Some of them might need to be scrubbed out more thoroughly than that, but this lady in particular keeps her sink and everything super clean, so it didn't need that deep of a scrub. But you see how thoroughly she's rinsing it. Barkeepers is amazing for stainless steel sinks. It takes out water spotting and all sorts of stuck-on crap, so that's a really great method to use. If you don't have a stainless steel sink, you might want to use Comet, because Comet will bleach out whatever, you know, if you're, for example, cleaning a white sink.
So then after you're done scrubbing the sink, just make sure that you take a white and you're going to buff and dry any water spotting that you got. You saw when the sink was being rinsed, a little bit of water went back up onto the counter. We want to make sure all of that is completely dry. We don't want to leave any water spots. We want to make sure that the faucet is buffed as well. We want to make it look completely dry. You don't have to dry the inside of the sink, just dry the counter and the faucet itself. And then you guys are good to go.